Hello and welcome to Chasing the Target. We had two cricket games among all this football commotion. India versus New Zealand and Australia versus England. Australia completing a whitewash, unbelievable dominant performance. Today they scored 355 and they won by 221 runs. It was Travis Head and David Warner who set the tone, both scoring hundreds and putting England under the pump and completing the whitewash. Whereas India needed a bit of help from rain because what happened was they were 75 for 4, and at that stage the rain came in and the Duckworth Lewis had the game as a tie, and it ended as a tie. But India win the series because they've already won the first game 1-0. One run here and there, and it could have been a result for either other team. But India have won that series as well. I have with me Mr. Festar. How are you doing, bro?
I am on cloud nine today. Well, not
With
just
that,
because
we are fan of Hardik Pandya, huh?
I wouldn't say that.
Seriously.
I mean, there are Arabian clouds in the desert. I think there's like some clouds in the Arabian desert that are making my day. But yes, also the fact that India have won the series, luckily, or however you would like to call it. Not convinced at all by the way of their win. And I don't think much praise will be given to Hardik Pandya for his captaincy or whoever the 11 were that were playing because it's not been a very good show. It's not been an exciting cricket from India at all, and I think they really need to do their homework. Giving Dravid a break, I don't know if that worked out.
Yeah, I mean, we heard what Ravi Shastri said about the break that, you get 2 months in the IPL to take a break. That's enough. You need to focus with the boys and continue to build the team towards a certain goal. Like with this team, it's about going to the T20 World Cup, but also with the 50 over World Cup coming, there could be some interchange, and some of these players you can work on them to be good 50 over players as well. I think, having said that, there's a couple of positives that I want to talk about in the game, and let's talk about it in the eye test. So we will talk about the issues with the Indian team, but I think one big positive is Mohammad Siraj. The way he bowled today, he single-handedly got India back into the game. At one stage, 200 was the sure shot score. The way New Zealand were batting, if you look at the scorecard, both Conway and Glenn Phillips got their eye in. They started hitting the boundaries, rotating the strike, and it became really difficult for India at one stage to contain the runs. Siraj came in, picked up wickets, and that allowed then Arshdeep to come in and finish it off really well. Arshdeep bowled really well as well in the death. But the way Suraj bowled, man, back of the length, that test match kind of length, it worked in New Zealand with that extra bounce, and he created problems for set batsmen as well. Outstanding figures. If you look at it, 4 over 17 runs, 4 wickets, 4.25. And he was the bowler who showed Arshdeep and the other bowlers that, listen, on this pitch, it's not just bowling full. When they were bowling full, they were out of the park. Yeah, the
Yeah.
straight boundaries were long, but the shorter boundaries were a bit short. That's why they're trying to bowl full. But Siraj showed that, bhai, on this pitch, there is extra bounce, utilize it, and that's exactly what he did.
Yeah, I think completely, and he's maturing with every series or whatever opportunity he's getting. He's making most of it, which is good to see. And hopefully, within the 50 over World Cup, we'll be able to see him joining the team. I mean, I was like Bhuvaneshwar Kumar again today. Yes, last spell was brilliant, but today again he fell short. 4 overs of 35 runs, did nothing spectacular. And then the main criminal in the bowling department, Mr. Chahal, again getting whooped 3 overs and I think 35 runs or something that he went for. But yeah, Siraj has been very, very good. And, 4 over 17, it's like a Sam Curranish kind of a spell. And I think we just hope to see him more of doing this kind of bowling in the coming
Sam Curran,
tournaments.
who would have thought after that, before the World Cup, we would call that a Sam Curran kind of stuff. But you're right. I think economical, picked up wickets as well. Exactly what Sam Curran was doing in the World Cup. I think, look, Bhuvneshwar Kumar, he was, until the World Cup, I understand why they were backing him, but now I think they need to give youngsters a chance. You can use Bhuvi in different games or, certain series if you want to, especially in swinging conditions. I felt that his test career was cut short because of injury. He could have been a really good test bowler overseas for India, particularly in England and New Zealand. But right now, it doesn't make sense, man. To give Umran Malik a chance, give some youngsters a chance, and let them grow in T20 cricket. I respect Bhuvneshwar Kumar. I really like him as a bowler. He's done really well for the team that I support in the IPL as well, Sunrisers. But
Yeah.
now it's time, I think, to move a change guard. Yeah, he bowled really well in the first game. Today also, 8.75 economy. It was the last over where he got hit for a 6 or 4, which ruined his figures a bit. But still, it's not about his bowling only. I think it's just time to look to youngsters, especially in the T20 format. That's
I,
what I feel. Give the exposure. Someone like Umran Malik, if he gets hit for 60 runs in 4 overs, I
Yeah.
would take that. I'll take that because it's a learning curve for him. He still has a long career to go.
Yeah, 100%. And like, I think there's just a tendency in India to like, I mean, as all sportsmen have that little bit of tendency, and but in India, it's a bit more, pertinent that you sort of want to stick to your position as long as you're there. I mean, you get old at, हम बड़े हैं, हमारे को मालूम है kind of a temperament. हम यहाँ पे आपसे ज्यादा रह चुके हैं. किसको सिखा रहे हो जब तक that those kind of like even with Sehwag, Tendulkar, we saw this
I
thing
don't
that
think
they were
Bhuvneshwar has that. He's very humble in that way. I
not
don't
not
think he.
Bhubaneswar. I'm not talking just about like, but in an Indian context, like in an Indian team selection kind of a way, they'll always be like, "अरे experience है बंदे को उसको लेके जाओ." That's always going. Today, if you would have seen, the situation was 1-0. You had the one hand on the trophy, but you could have given Umran Malik a chance. You could have easily given him a shot, but you decided to play Arshdeep. Arshdeep did bowl, but last match, if you look at Arshdeep's figures, they weren't that great. Bhubaneswar को Kumar played back. अब आईलाइटल है तुम चांस ले सकते यू कैन टेक अ चांस विद उमरान मलिक जब आप चांस पे चाहल ले रहे 23 आप एक चांस उमरान मलिक को भी दो या whoever else is there in the squad that is there to take an opportunity and sort of grow like you said. It can be a learning curve, and if they don't get these kind of tournaments to experiment themselves, then again it will come back to the point that come to the IPL, show your performance over there and try to smidge in the one day team or the T20 team. That
Uh,
shouldn't be a selection criteria any longer. Like when it comes to international cricket, I think that
Speaking of
IPL.
giving
I'm saying.
speaking of giving chances, Sanju Samson is sitting on the bench. A lot of people were saying, "Why isn't Sanju getting a chance?" Rishabh Pant has been consistent cricket. The way I look at it, I feel that I back Pant. I feel that he's a quality player, but it's time. He's not performing, so it's time to give him a rest, give a bench him. Drop him, whatever it is, and give Sanju Samson a shot. Especially, in this series, okay, fine. If you lost the game, the series would have been drawn. It's okay. This is where you have to take your chances. This is where you have to give them experience. I'm not saying Sanju Samson will grab the opportunity with both hands. There's no guarantee of that because Samson's history suggests that he's inconsistent. He'll score 100, then
Yeah,
he'll have a string of
yeah, yeah.
single digit figures. So I'm not saying that, but I'm thinking that listen, give them the opportunity, let them be exposed to this situation because you can't not play them and then they go back to India. Then you give them a chance, they'll perform a bit. Then you take them back for the World Cup to England, Australia, New Zealand, and expect them to perform. It won't work like that. These are the conditions where
Exactly.
they need to be exposed, and this is where rotation needs to come in. And yes, some big
Like
players are
in the
missing.
first game, if you see in the first game, they gave an opportunity. Like the second game of the tournament, they gave Washington Sundar an opportunity. He got smacked 24 runs, but he at least learned कि भाई ये condition में
Yeah,
कैसा डालना था या where I was weak, what mistakes I made and stuff like that. So I think these kind of exposure opportunities are going to be very rare. Apart from the fact that the World Cup is coming next year, आप ज़्यादा chance नहीं ले रहे. I get that. As a management, आप एक core team बनाना चाह रहे हो, core team को कुछ खिलाना चाह रहे. But ऋषभ पंत को फिर आप इतना जगह दे रहे मेरे को तो समझ में नहीं आ रहा. ऋषभ पंत is for me. I've given up on Rishabh Pant long time ago.
no,
I
that's
still
too much. You can't give up on him, man. He's totally right.
I'm telling you, man. Rishabh
Look,
Pant is not growing his temperament, bro. जरा mentality change तो भी करके खेलना game.
no, it's not that. Like the thing is, I agree with you there. Usko drop karna chahiye from T20 cricket, but that doesn't mean don't give up on him in the sense that he can come back. Like he can make a comeback because you remember in Test cricket usko drop करे थे बीच में. आपको अगर याद है तो साहा को back
Yeah.
कर रहे थे. But then they got him back and he won you that series. So I think the same way, give him a break. I don't think it's working for him right now. Drop कर दो, squad से भी drop कर दो, कोई बात नहीं. Let him go work in domestic cricket or just work on his game and come back. Give someone like a Samson a chance and see how it goes from there. Sumesh Bansal
One
joined us.
upset. Yeah,
Thank you
go ahead.
so
Sorry,
much.
sorry.
Thank you so much for joining. Saw you on Sports Diary, brothers. You both are amazing. You both emit good vibes and love from India. Hi, thank you so much,
Thank you,
Sumesh.
bhai. I
Really
think it's just the
appreciate
brotherly love, that Indian brotherly love that we have, that we emit good vibes. जहाँ पे
ऐसे
sport love हम लोग रहते हैं बस चक दे इंडिया चक दे पट्टे नल्ले गिल्ली.
ऐसे कमेंट ना करें तो लड्डुआं फुट जाएंगे हमारे दिलों में. But thank you so much very much for joining us. You can ask your questions as well. We will discuss as much as we can.
One more disappointment I was telling you is that Kuldeep Yadav बैठा हुआ है बेचारा. Kuldeep Yadav को खिलाओ यार. Why isn't Kuldeep Yadav playing? He's a proven spinner. He's a proven experienced player. But Chahal को इस back कर रहे हैं. कहीं को भाई I mean I get Chahal को भी है opportunity का जरिया ये है, but he's already been smashed in one game. Then why did you change Washington Sundar? So why is there this I'm feeling this. Why is there this battle where Washington को one match खिला रहे Chahal को two कहीं को? That's
Yeah,
not
I
fair,
think
right?
Kuldeep Yadav, especially whenever he's given the chance, whether it was in the West Indies, whether it was in the series before that, whenever he's given a chance, he's picking up wickets. And he had a fantastic IPL as well. I think he was in the top three spinners in the IPL. So you should back him. I think you should back him for sure. Give him opportunity. Or वो भी West Indies में तीन चार game नहीं खेला. He played the last game, and even then he picked up 3-4 wickets. So I
Yes.
agree. Like, someone like a Kuldeep should be given a chance. Look, from Chahal, everyone was calling for Chahal. All the experts, the news, and everybody was saying कि भाई Chahal को खिलाना था T20 World Cup में, right? अब उसको खिलाए. We saw, and I saw in the Asia Cup. I mentioned to you this before as well, that Chahal पिट गया था on the big stage. Yes, in the IPL he's done well. He's a leg spinner. He can pick up wickets, but he's not. I don't think he's on the caliber of someone like a Zampa or even Adil Rashid. I don't think he's on the caliber yet. At times he's been outstanding, but consistency you need, especially in big tournaments, big stages. We need him to have that temperament. I still feel he's an excellent bowler, Yuzvendra Chahal, so he should be backed. And I also felt he should have played in that World Cup, and at least the England game he should have played. He will get you wickets somewhere, but he needs to also work on his game and understand different conditions and take it from there. I still feel he is your wicket taker, and he's been more consistent than Kuldeep over the last 2-3 years. So maybe that's why they packed him. But Kuldeep will get his chance, because whenever he does
All,
play, he takes wickets.
all my thing is like जो chance distribution है, whatever you're having the chance distribution in terms of giving an opportunity to play, it should be a bit more like clear, किसको कब दे रहे मौका. I mean, out of the blue तुम you just finished an Australia World Cup, ऑस्ट्रेलिया में खत्म करे, आप थोड़ों को रेस्ट भी दे सकते थे, अर्शदीप को दे सकते थे, या this is the point, like immediately after the World Cup when you can give a break, like one series break is fine, because the big boys like Kohli and Rohit Sharma, they too are already off. So I think at this point you can play your second team which you were playing just before the World Cup, saying that हमारे को World Cup के लिए prepare करना है, तो World Cup के post एक break दे दो, and जो बच्चे या जो boys खेल रहे थे, you should just continue with them for some time till the big boys are back.
I agree. I think chances should be given, but you also have to be careful in chopping and changing too much. You need to give the chance to a youngster and back him for the whole series. Like जैसा Sundar को लिए तो खिला लेना 2-3 game. That's what I also feel. So it's a very fine kind of thing. It's difficult to really analyze it at times, because कभी आप chance दे रहे हैं फिर बोलते भाई जो अच्छा player था उसको कहीं को बिठा दिए and stuff like that. So you have to be a bit careful. But I agree what you're saying. The eye test, I really have to discuss Shreyas Iyer, bro. फिर से short ball पे out हुआ 0 of 1. फिर से short ball.
I think you call that loud and clear, bro. I think the short ball is like his Voldemort. When Harry Potter Voldemort को देखता देखो सिर पकड़ लेता, वैसे दिन short ball को देखते कि इसको यहाँ पे एक S होगा यहाँ पे, serious के लिए नहीं, short ball के लिए.
I'm not making. I don't want to. It's not like I'm not going to try to make fun of him anymore or anything like that. I usko bitha do. Let him go and work on the short ball. Do not keep playing him when there is such a big issue. अब T20 ऐसा नहीं है भाई. टेस्ट क्रिकेट में सुरेश रैना को नहीं खिला रहे बिकॉज शॉर्ट बॉल का इशू है. रैना फिर भी T20 वनडे में मैनेज कर लेता था. दिस का एनी शॉर्ट बॉल भाई, परसों शॉर्ट बॉल आया उन्हें स्टंप्स के पीछे गिर गया, उसके ऊपर गिर गया स्टंप पे. He needs to just give him a break, let him go work on the short ball. Kaiko khila rahe, like you're dampening his confidence by playing him. This is where the management has to take a call, bro. I don't blame him anymore. Let him go and work on it. Then if he doesn't fix
but
it,
that's the point, no, bro. He got so much time to work on it. That's what I'm not able to understand. You got ample amount of time. You have 1 month of preparation time to do this. 1 month में तुम्हारे को बस नहीं हो रहा, तो अब क्या होना तुम्हारे को? अब क्या अब कोई बच्चे को खड़ के खाली शॉर्ट बॉल ना पड़ेंगे?
बिठा दो until he fixes it. क्या कर सकते हैं? Because उसका आप स्पेशली न्यूजीलैंड ये वो लेके जा रहे हैं. इमेजिन वर्ल्ड कप लेके गए उसको, लाइक ऑस्ट्रेलिया में धाड़ बोल के वहीं चिंतियां कर देते हैं उसको. So he has to work on it. I don't know if he has or not, but बहुत clear problem है. और आज फिर से दिख गया again short ball, and he tries to offend it, got caught and slip, I think, and just it's a big issue, man. For me, that's like the biggest concern, that you keep playing him and he keeps getting out like that. It's a big issue. Also, the rest of the batting, Pandya, I think a positive 30 of 18, 3 4s a 6. Surya Kumar 13 of 10. Again, the way Surya plays, you can't expect him to score every single game like hundreds, but he's been an outstanding form. I'm not going to criticize him there. Ishan Kishan, a bit. I was disappointed after hitting a 6 and a 4 the way he got out. Felt he should have shown a bit more maturity there. But look, you gave them the chance. Now back them, and hopefully they look to learn from their mistakes. Ab fail hua koi problem nahi. One thing that this unit that I want them to have is don't have a fear of failure. You lose, you lose. England lost to Ireland, they went and won the World Cup. आप फेल हो रहे हैं. अब ऋषभ पंत 11 of 5, right? Again, he failed, but play that kind of cricket. Hit 2, 3 sixes. I'm talking not only about Rishabh Pant, but everyone. Play that aggressive cricket. If you fail, you fail, no problem. But continue to play
I
that.
guess, that is the thing. Mud mein gire baad, when you roll around in the mud, you'll understand. And वो opportunity अगर देना शुरू करे, but again जैसे like you mentioned and you called it way before that, श्रेयस अय्यर को तो काफी चांस दे दिए यार. And I think if this exposure of the short ball comes in the IPL, फिर IPL भी खत्म हो जाता है उसका. But
IPL में हुआ तो उमरान मलिक कैसा सेटअप करा उसको. चार फील्डर या लेग साइड पे, he kept bowling short and then he put one Yorker and got him.
Inspired by इकबाल था, वो इकबाल में चक्रव्यूह करता देखा.
And it was a clear plan. You could see Stain also in the dugout ऐसा कर रहा था उन्हें. It was a clear plan. So 100%. He has to work on that.
They've got to understand.
These players also, the reason why there's so much competition. अब तुम बोल रहे right, इसको chance दो, उसको chance, इन्हें wait कर रहा है, उसको chance दो. It plays on these players' minds as well. For example, England, अगर आप उनका test series, home series अगर check करे थे ये summer में, they played quite a few test matches against New Zealand, India and South Africa. उसमें सब चल रहे थे एक्सेप्ट फॉर जैक क्रॉली नहीं चल रहा था उन्हें. मगर उसको खिलाते गए and in the end he did perform. He scored runs. So it sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't work. अब विचरे से यार उसको खिलाते जा रहे, it's not working. So you have to take a call at some point. I think right now it's the call.
अब मैं एक चीज बोलता हूँ, इसमें एक भी चीज होता है. There's one way of looking at this that you said I understand कि ज्यादा भी competition का pressure रहता है and boil दर जाते हैं. But one thing I would say कि भाई अब अगर भुवनेश्वर कुमार है आगे, I don't see him playing T20 World Cup and stuff. बिठाओ, खिलाओ उमरान मलिक जो 2020 का specialist जो बोल रहे हैं इंशाल्लाह, whatever he's going to be in the future. But if he's going to be one guy who you're surely going to take in a T20 stock, why would you play someone who's almost at the end of his career?
But I have a question. उन्हें पिट गया 4-5 game उमरान मलिक, he gets hit because in Ireland he did get hit for like in 4 overs he got hit for 50-60. उसको बिठा दिया because there were talks for him to go to the World Cup even as a backup thing. वो भी नहीं हुआ because he got hit in the Ireland series. Now if he gets hit 5, 6, 7 games on, he's inexperienced. हो सकता है with extra pace, maybe in New Zealand small grounds he can get hit. Then what do you do?
At that point then he will also be able to understand. अगर आवेश खान है या कोई better कि डाल रहा,
फिर किसको like what do you do? Like I'm saying, if you're the manager, what decision do you take?
Then I would have to see. I would have to see पहले तो कहाँ पिट रहा उन्हें, क्या कर रहा है. Is it like a technical issue or is it just because he's not able to get rhythm and stuff?
But the reason why I'm asking you this is not to put you under pressure. I'm not doing it. The reason why I'm telling you this is because उन्हें पिट गया 5-6 game. उन लोग क्या करते फिर they'll go back to movie. That's where you have to go to another youngster and then you back him. So that's what you have to do. Because अब देखो, if he gets hit for 8-10 games, then सब बोलेंगे भाई उसको बिठाओ. It's going to happen.
100%. मेरा point ये है कि भाई अगर Bhuvi was potentially at the end of his career, very well played, hats off, orange cap, purple cap, जो भी cap आपके पास है माशाल्लाह, जबरदस्त career रहा, finger injure हुआ, आपकी काफी injuries lingering होते हुए भी you continued your career. But I'm just saying to move forward, you need to sometimes let go. अब वो let go हमारे पास इंडिया में टेंडेंसी है कि नहीं, अभी एक्सपीरियंस करते यंग वालों को वो एक्सपीरियंस जनरेट नहीं होता, they can't grow, and then immediately they're put in a situation like a World Cup or a big bilateral series where they have to face those pressure situations. या तो आप ऐसा करो कि आप एक यंग स्क्वाड जैसे बांग्लादेश हो गया, जिम्बाब्वे हो गया, ये छोटे कंट्रीज विद ऑल ड्यू रिस्पेक्ट टू देम, इधर खिला लो. या तो आप ऐसा एक विंग बना लो कि भाई ऑल दी स्मॉल फॉर्मेट्स विल एक्सपेरिमेंट प्लेयर्स हियर, बिग बॉयज के साथ लाइक पाकिस्तान हो गया, इंग्लैंड हो गया, विल बी सेटिंग अप अ कोर टीम. बट यू जस्ट नीड टू लर्न हाउ टू डिस्ट्रीब्यूट दोस अपॉर्चुनिटीज इज व्हाट आई फील. दैट्स ऑल.
Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying from that point of view. Like especially Bhuvi ke according, like I mean, regarding Bhuvneshwar Kumar, I feel also T20 cricket mein you'll have to go to youngsters now. He's bowled in the last 2-3 years. He's bowled consistently for India, and now it's probably you need to look forward and you need to look at other players, especially youngsters. But yeah, overall, in India win the series. They win 1-0. Barish okay, tie ho gaya game, so they have won that series. But like you said, there are concerns. We talked about the batting in the bowling as well. The way Chahal bowled again was a concern. But the positives are Surya Kumar's 100 in this series. I think that was a fabulous knock. The way Siraj bowled, hats off. Arshdeep, the way he came back, he got hit in the beginning. Magar unhone last over mein aake, yes, Siraj set it up for him, but he had to still finish it off and execute his plans. The way he executed the Yorkers, outstanding. एक उन्हें middle stump या कुछ निकाला था आज last over में. So
Yeah,
really good from Ajdeep over there. Those are the positives. From New Zealand's point of view, I think they're unlucky in this game. Agar ek run idhar udhar chale
yeah,
gaya, they would have won this game. A bit unlucky. It was an improved performance, but the collapse will be a big concern. Middle order
yeah.
after Glenn
There,
Phillips got out, the likes of Darren Mitchell again, Jimmy Neesham. We've talked about him. Mitchell Santner
yeah,
contribute nahi kare, so that will be a cause for concern from New Zealand.
yeah.
But now I think it's done the series. So now T20 cricket might be put on the side, and focus will be on
Focus
one day
on
cricket.
50-50. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. And I think it's back, always good to be back to the OGs where the real cricket happens, where you get to see actually a lot of cricket, because 2020, flick of an eye, blink of an eye, mein game badal jata hai, ya game khatam bhi ho jata hai, So I think
Also
it's
overdose हो गया, right? कभी change होना है life में कि भाई ये देखते जा रहे
yeah,
थोड़ा
सही है
सा.
नहीं बिल्कुल बिल्कुल just a good change of time, and World Cup inside बोलते it'll be more exciting to see how these teams prepare for the bilaterals, giving us a perspective of how they're going to perform in the 50-50 format, and I think it's just a right time. uh, Devon Conway also played a pretty good innings. अच्छा देखा मेरे
Yeah,
को 50 of
impressive
30
play.
balls में आके अच्छा मारा, so he's one also for an ODI team, जो obviously select होने वाला है, I think opening batsman के तौर पे. ये जो सब अब आप Glenn Phillips and these guys also have to sort of mold their ways of playing in a 50-50 format. Obviously, you can't be that hitter kind of a role everywhere unless like maybe a Surya Kumar Yadav. But we've also spoken of that Sky might need to sort of mend his ways a bit when it comes to the 50 game format.
Yeah, 100%. And talking about 50 overs, Australia, mate, 355 for 5. Travis had 152 of 130 deliveries, 16 fours, 4 sixes. I think Finch has retired from one day, so it's the Travis Head era right now,
Oof.
and both left-handers going at it. It was very destructive today. Warner also playing a sensible knock, 106 of 102, and they completely dominated England. Again, from England's point of view, they just won a T20 World Cup. I don't think they gave the 100% in this series, but still, you have to give credit to Australia where it's due. Mitchell Marsh came also 30 of 16 balls. They batted really well. Sumesh Bhai, with the beautiful messages, good analysis, bro. Wishing you all the luck in the world. Wishing you all the luck in the world as well.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
of course,
And
double luck.
we'll try to get you the latest, and we also have our football channel, Chasing Green Arrow, so hopefully you can follow that as well. But yeah, Australia completely dominant with bat and ball. If you look at with the ball, Adam Zampa again, man, 4 wickets.
Yeah, wow.
He's turning out to be a special bowler, very consistent wicket taking and very clever bowler. He knows exactly कहाँ डालना है, कहाँ नहीं डालना है. He got hit a bit for a few boundaries, but the way he came back, picked up wickets, and just swings the momentum back in Australia's favor. He's a golden bowler for them, man. Because even now, where's the World Cup going to be? In India. The World Cup is
Yeah.
going to be in India. It'll be conducive to spin. Aapko, as the tournament wears on, the pitches will wear as well. There will be turn on offer, and I think Zampa will play a key role. If he's fully fit and raring to go, Australia will have a good chance in that World Cup.
Yeah, completely. And Zampa today was the key to the victory. Like, despite the 2 centuries that were there, with all due respect to them, billion knocks. But on age of 4, I think 5, 6, 7 jo liya. I think he took Moeen Ali's wicket, Josh Butler's wicket, and I think Chris Woakes. So Chris Woakes to tail में आ जाता, but वो दो का अगर partnership click हो जाता है या कुछ, both are composed players. They know how to play the cricket in certain circumstances. I think Josh Butler is not able to fit in that middle order. I think he's an opener. I think he should continue to be an opener. मेरे को इतना पसंद नहीं आ रहा है middle order के उसमें. But yeah, hopefully
They went with Malan as the opener. I would have probably stuck with Butler there. But the thing is, if you remember, in the 2019, it was Jason Roy and Bairstow opening the batting, and Butler was Butler does play the finisher in one-day cricket. So I think we just forgot, because T20 उन्हें राजस्थान में भी open कर रहा England के लिए भी. But in 2019, when they won the World Cup, Butler was batting at number 5, 6. He was playing that finisher role.
Yeah, but he looks more comfortable. Like I maybe we just it's just fresh in our memory right now. That's why we feel like that. But I just felt
Yeah.
like he'll be more comfortable thing. And Ben Stokes नहीं होने की वजह से भी I think वो middle में हालत खराब हो जा रही है इन लोगों की. Ben Stokes जैसा अगर player वापस आ गया इन लोगों के लिए, so then it'll be something good for them. But apart from that, yeah, it was a very poor performance of 142 पे पूरा बीच में collapse हो गए. No one was able to sort of hold the fort and continue the innings. And Australia bowled with multiple bowlers. I think they didn't even complete 10 overs with any of their bowlers. It gave chance to everyone.
Mm.
And they all performed brilliantly. And like you said, Zampa, he's turning out to be one that India also need to look for, because World Cup जहाँ पे है, like you said, spinning track रहेगा and dominate कर देंगे अपने को.
Crazy, he didn't get an IPL contract last time, right? He didn't play for an IPL team, I don't think. Him and Al Rashid both didn't get picked up, I think. Or even if they did, maybe later on, but they both didn't play IPL last season. So interesting. Let's see what happens if they play this IPL. But these two are the leg spinners to watch out for right now in the world. And Zampa,
Yeah,
जितने भी तारीफ करो कम है उसके लिए. I think he's been outstanding throughout since that last T20 World Cup, man. He's been killing it
on
for
fire, yeah.
Australia. From
And
England,
like the Kismet bhi wahi देखो, like after the COVID, he had COVID in the middle. He came back from COVID and again performed. So that's
yeah.
crazy.
And from England's bowling perspective, Ollie Stone picked up 4 wickets, but at the expense of 85 runs. Pretty
85,
gap.
yeah, that's
So yeah, I think it's just one of those series from England. They were poor at times and completely dominated by Australia. Again, they will. I think the focus will shift to 50 over cricket in the next few months, and after the Test series against Pakistan, they'll start focusing on. I think the one-day format. They'll try to get that batting order and the bowling lineup a bit more. क्या बोलते हैं, so in order to just
in
see
order. Yeah,
yeah, just to see how they will perform, if they can play to their best like they did in the T20 World Cup. But because look, क्या करते हैं मालूम, they take it by series. For them, I feel that Ashes is one of the top priorities. But now they've focused on white ball cricket since that Morgan era. So T20 खत्म हो गया, they will focus on the 50 over, I feel. And
yeah. I
yeah,
think it's just what do you call, फिनिश कर देंगे भाई टूर्नामेंट टाइप्स का एक मैच था.
yeah,
एंड लाइक
series खत्म कर दो, 30 World Cup खेल के.
वर्ल्ड कप के बाद आई डोंट थिंक दे वर मच लाइक very much looking attentive to win this kind of a series, like you
It
said,
looked
like
like
they
their attention was on the football World Cup also. Like it just feels that they
yeah,
are
whether it's coming home or not, they don't know. But
yeah.
now
Fair
finally, I
enough.
think they're going. Yeah,
I know professionals, you have to perform to your best ability every single time. You're in a lucky position playing for your country, playing cricket, something that you love. But at the same time, I understand they're human beings. Thoda toll rehta, especially after winning a
yeah,
World Cup and everything.
100%.
It takes a mental and physical toll. You lost to Ireland as well in that World Cup, so it was an emotional kind of tournament for you. And it's fair enough, bro. Like I didn't expect them to come out all guns blazing, but at least win a game. I think they will be very disappointed with that, and they'll have to work on this going into the World Cup. But that pretty much wraps it up in terms of
Yep,
both the games today. I think India is going to tour Bangladesh next. They're
Bangladesh.
going to have a test series there and some limited over cricket maybe. And England is the test team is already in Abu Dhabi. They're practicing over there. They have net sessions going on today. They had a net session in the Abu Dhabi stadium, and they're preparing for
Pakistan.
the tour to Pakistan. And we needed to put this on Fresh of the Press, but I'll tell you now that the news was that they're taking a chef. A personal chef with them, because I think the T20 series they weren't happy with the food, or like it was too spicy for them, something like that. I don't know exactly what it was. There's a lot of a bit of controversy on Twitter regarding that, but I don't think it's a big issue. Like you eat the food which is given to you. If you want to take a personal chef, that's your responsibility. If they can afford
Yeah, I
that,
mean
then okay,
it's yeah, exactly. Yeah. अपने को क्या करना है, रोहित भाई अपना खुद का शेफ लेके जा रहे हैं बांग्लादेश को. सैंडविच बनाने वाले. सैंडविच बनाने वाले लेके जा रहे हैं अपने घर के
yeah,
बाजू की एक
like
बेकरी है.
yeah, like yeah, it's okay. Like honestly, if, me, I like adapting to like different conditions, but sometimes I understand if you're getting sick from it. If you don't think, then okay, fine.
Yeah, it's
It's
just
not.
it's a taste buds का
These
difference
days,
हो जाता है.
food is getting the headline, bro. These days, whether it's the cold sandwiches or the personal chefs, food is getting the headline.
Yeah.
And we also have the Sri Lanka Afghanistan. That's also coming up in a couple of
And
days.
so is Vinay bhai.
Yeah, for
Vinay bhai
sure.
will
But
also
that
come on.
pretty much wraps it up. It was a great day of cricket, even better day of football. We saw
Football.
one of the biggest upsets in football history, in World Cup history. And
I
yeah,
don't think we'll call it an upset.
the country I was born in have defeated Messi's Argentina. So that was a great day. We're going to celebrate now. We're going to watch the games as well. A couple games going on. But yeah, Faiz, any last thoughts regarding cricket, football, basketball, volleyball, anything?
Just keep watching your sports and enjoy it, and hopefully we'll be back with more content for you guys. Stay
हम्म,
tuned.
मेरे को एक चीज बोलना था, बोलना भूल गया मैं। थोड़ा डोमेस्टिक क्रिकेट का अगर बात करें तो क्या हुआ भाई,
अच्छा,
50 ओवर में 500 रन मारे।
हाँ वो टू मच में भेजा, देखो टू मच था वो, 500 रन कैसा
टॉक
मारे
अबाउट
यार।
दैट, विजय
आई
हजारे
रिमेम्बर
ट्रॉफी।
आई रिमेम्बर थोड़े साल पहले न्यूज़पेपर पे एक बॉय 1000 रन कुछ मारा था यार, कोई कोई ऐसी
Yeah, वो तो
लोकल
that was I think high school cricket, but this one, bro, Vijay Hazare Trophy में 506 for two
500,
in
yeah.
50 overs. The Tamil Nadu scored and the opposition scored 71. Arunachal Pradesh. And if you
अरुणाचल
see
यार,
Jagadishan, who plays, he played for Chennai, right, in the T20 and the IPL.
जग या जगदीशम या
Narayan Jagadisan and Sai Sudarshan, both of them putting up a partnership 416 for the first wicket.
वाह,
Jagadisan 277 of 141 balls, 25 fours, 15 sixes, strike rate of 196. Sahid Surdarshan 154, 102 balls, 19 fours, 2 sixes, 150.98 strike rate. मैं आकाश चोपड़ा का tweet देख रहा था. He said, bro, like you can't have opposition like this. You know, have competitive. But I understand that. Like maybe the
yeah, but this
competition.
is incredible amount of patience, bro.
मैं तो like 277 141, even if you're playing against like a 2-year-old baby, कहीं ना कहीं आउट हो जाते हैं भाई, concentration lose करके, या इतना मन हर वक्त एक गलती
एग्जैक्टली,
के भी
पेशेंस कॉन्फिडेंस भाई। अगर मैं ऑपोजिशन में रहता था मैं तो घर चले आता था। इतना लंबा इनिंग्स अगर खेल रहा कोई, आई मीन विकेट लेके भाग जाता था मैं घर को।
You know, when I was playing with a team in the initial my college years, and I was playing 50 over at the time. After that, I stopped. I just started playing T20. उसमें हम लोग थोड़ी weak थे. We were like a weak team. उसमें we used to go. We used to bowl 50 overs, get hit for 300 runs, 250, 270. पूरा 50 overs fielding करते थे. Then we used to get all out for 70, 80. I'm like, this is too much, man. Like then I stopped. Like I'm like, I'm like, going there and wasting the day. That's what I felt. But imagine this, man. 500 रन खाते 50 ओवर में, फिर उसके बाद 71 ऑल
बेसिकली
आउट।
एम एस धोनी के मूवी अगर आपको याद है, उसमें युवराज सिंह मार मार के चंबू कर देता, सब लोग देख लेते रहते, वैसा काइंड ऑफ स्टोरी है ये। जहाँ भाई 416 रन की पार्टनरशिप यार, आप सोचो, आप लाइक एज अ बॉलर हाउ बैड यू मस्ट बी फीलिंग, लाइक आई एम नॉट एबल टू गेट वन विकेट, that's
Yeah.
disgusting.
Yeah,
But
it's
yeah,
just
amazing talent coming out, hopefully we get to see these guys in the future again,
the
but it's
100%. We'll
hats
keep an
off,
eye
man.
on the Vijay Hazare Trophy because India prides itself on domestic cricket, especially Ranji Trophy. So and the यहाँ से player ना निकल के आते IPL में भी, it's a good eye to have. We'll know, like how when you watch these kind of tournaments and these kind of matches, then you're not surprised जब IPL में आके कोई आके मार देता, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Don't get as surprised because you've seen them play in the domestic circuit, and I think someone like a Jagadisan, he will have a decent type. If he's scoring these many runs, bro, like I think I'm sure he'll perform in the IPLs one day in the future for sure. That pretty much wraps it up, Fez. Thank you so much for joining me. Everyone who joined us, thank you so much as well. Make sure you like and subscribe to our channel. It's been a pleasure to get you the latest content, and we will continue to do so. Until then, enjoy the cricket, enjoy the football, and have a good night. Thank you, Fez.
Thank you, sir.